Everyone's growing a stash of tomatoes or a swag of cabbages nowadays. But with skyrocketing meat prices, good old homekill is back in favour. For townies out there, homekill isn't what you think it is. It's the slaughtering and butchering of your farmed animals for your own consumption. You can either do this yourself or get a registered provider to do the deed.
So the rules around homekill is that the person that we are killing the animals for must have been actively engaged with that animal for at least 28 days prior to the slaughter. The whole 100% of that animal must go back to that person. They can't give it away or sell it.
But if we don't have a beast in our backyard, how do we get some sweet homekill action?
So maybe your neighbour's got a cattle beast, they only want half of it, for instance. And if you're living right beside them, you can be actively engaged in the welfare of that animal and you can be in part ownership of that animal. And that's one way of doing it.
This is really good, Mama.
Maybe homekill is just the thing to beat the cost of living blues.
Let us find out more with Mike Hansen from Netherby Meats. Mike, are you seeing more demand for your homekill service?
Yeah, the homekill service in the whole country seems to be up, especially our local butcher in Ashburton, 30-40% up on this time last year, just with the processing demand at the butchery.
That's a huge rise. What do you think's driving it?
Just the cost of living, I think, for all the families and stuff out there. Things that are so expensive, and the processing their own meat from their own farms is just really cost effective.
Important question. Do you reckon it tastes better than meat we get in other places?
Yeah, I do think it tastes better because there's less stress on it. Like, it's just straight from the farm. Like, the farmers farmed it and fed it, and then we've gone out there and picked it up and brought it back to the butcher shop and turned it into prime cuts. And, you know, we make small goods as well. Sausages, salami.
Yum. Is it cost effective compared to, you know, me buying meat from the supermarket? What are the numbers?
Yeah, the cost, like, say, you can get mince and stuff from your homekill meat, and it probably works out to about $8-9 a kilo. The supermarket's sort of ranging from $20 to $25 a kilo, so it's hugely cost effective.
And you mentioned cattle, but what other animals have you home killed?
We do lambs and pigs as well, like all on farm, and dress them out nicely, and bring them back to the shop and process them, and cut them all up into cuts for the customers.
Hey, what is the best way to store what may well be a lot of meat?
Like at our butchers, we vacuum pack it all and then put it in a big blast freezer. And then, like if you've got a big enough freezer, like a big chest freezer at home, you can store it in there, and the beef can last for a couple or 3 years in there now, once it's all sealed up.
And just a thought experiment, how fast do you reckon you could process Jeremy here?
Oh, he's quite a big one. It'll take a wee while for Jeremy.
Yeah. Hang me upside down, I guess that's the start, isn't it? You have to pluck me. I'm not sure how it works.
What would be his best cut, do you reckon? Probably the back straps, wouldn't you think? Plenty of meat there.
Yeah, back strap. He's got. What about a rump? Would be not too bad.
Plenty of rump. Keeps me comfy on the project. Good eating, though.
Wagyu.
Yeah.
Fatty.
Mike, it's been fascinating. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Kia ora, everyone. Special night of the project tonight. Look, Moses Mackay is here. Star of Sole Mio, about to launch his solo career. Well, the solo album's out this week. We'll talk about that later. Better talk meat first, though, eh?
You know, listening to him, there was a time when I was in Morocco and I was riding these camels, and we ended up in this beautiful place in Midelt, and they took us into this ancient Medina. Now, we go through this old school Medina, and all of a sudden they serve us some burgers. And I was like, oh, yeah, man, I feel like a burger. They gave me this burger, and I said, man, what's in this? It's so beautiful. They said, camel.
Oh, wow.
I was like, all right. I had to, like, you know, quickly just change my whole outlook on life.
Yeah.
You've travelled a bit. Have you sampled any other animals?
Well, you know, it's a little bit controversial, but when I was in Japan, I did taste whale. I didn't want to. I don't support
You're
it.
out.
I didn't support it. But I just they served it, and I said, look, I'll taste it. But I didn't.
How did it compare to the camel?
They're very different. You know, whale tastes like it has like the flavour of meat, but it has a texture of fish. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't eat it again.
This is amazing. It's the first time on the project we've had a guest cancelled within 1 minute. Moses Mackay, wow, meat eater.
I was looking at that too, because I do eat meat, but do you think we should have put a warning before we played some of that footage? I'd imagine for people not into it, that was probably quite
Well, there was a
disturbing.
time where I was vegan at a time. Anyone vegan here?
No. So when you watch, you know, a butchery, how does it make you feel?
You know, I'm not the most comfortable with it. But, you know, I love meat, so I can't.
Bring on the lab-grown meat.